792. We're going to discover in this life a much happier place. Okay. I feel like Dr. Mitchell now. Oh, he has made people cry, not on purpose too, but he really wasn't doing it on purpose. He was teasing somebody and they just We're going to look at the last stanza on 792. Okay. Do you remember? We had a little.
It's a memory.
It's a memory. Yes, it's a memory. Do you remember? Good. Thank you, Brennan. It's a memory. We have our little. See, I mean, nothing can be so bad because it's like I draw these terrible stick people. Okay. Here's our little bent over old man. Okay. Wow. Maybe he even has a cane or serious.
Poor little old man.
And he's only got a little hair on the side because he's. Okay. Okay. He has very short legs, doesn't he? Okay. Now, that's our little man who's walking from the sea. And remember, he can still have glimpses of the shore, right?
Right.
Okay, same thing at the bottom of 792. These beauteous forms, through a long absence, have not been to me as is a landscape to a blind man's eye. But oft in lonely rooms and mid the din of towns and cities, I have owed to them in hours of weariness sensations sweet. So, remember, it's been 5 years. 5 years have passed 5 summers since he has been to the banks of the Wye. 5 long years. He hasn't seen this place in 5 years, but 5 years ago he was there and he has carried that memory with him. And it's not been as a landscape to a blind man. He has been able to see the beauteous forms. And so he has been able to see them in his mind and in the poetry, and he says, I have owed to them in hours of weariness, sensation sweet. So when you're having a bad day, you can remember the last time you went to the beach, or the mountains, or Bellingrath Gardens, or something happy. You can remember those things. Even though it's chilly, you can remember the nice day at the beach in the summer, right?
Or the bed.
Or the bed. You could remember bed, yes. Yes. It can be lovely. Okay, but now we want to talk about something a little bit darker, and we need some scary music here.
Dun, dun, dun.
If you are, yes. I want you to think about something for a minute. Think about someone who might really be suffering, like significant depth of suffering, okay? The loss of a loved one. Think about, and don't think about it too much, like the tsunami or the earthquake, like the earthquake and the tsunami that hit Japan, right? Now, I want you to imagine a pretty postcard of the beach, or a pretty postcard of a meadow with flowers. And you say you've got a friend that had gone through the tsunami, okay, and had lost everything. Is it going to help to just send them a postcard of flowers? Why not?
What do they do with that?
What do they do with that? What is it? How's that gonna? Yeah. Why would now romantic?
Maybe if you wrote something really nice on the postcard.
Really nice. Okay, think about losing a loved one. Losing a loved one. Okay. What do you hear a lot that sometimes you just want to strangle the person that said it?
I know what you're
They're in a better place.
They're in a place.
It's okay. It'll get better. They're in a better place. I know what you're going through.
Yeah. I know what you're going through.
Yeah.
That's the biggest one. That's how that bothers me a lot. Yeah.
And even, okay.
Even if the person even if it's just like, my pastor, his son, they just found out he has leukemia, and he's only 4. And so, he's told us a lot. He said the words that have hurt him the most have been really focus on him, and I know what you're going through.
Yeah. You don't really know what that person's going through. Or if it's a person who's died and they're in heaven and you go up to their family member and you say, well, they're in a better place.
How do you take that? Like, it's just kind of like, I don't know, how do you feel like somebody's in a horrible place? I don't know.
And it's not very comforting, is it?
It's not comforting to you.
No.
Yeah, because the reason you're weeping is not for their death, but it's for you losing them.
It's for your loss of them, yeah. And so we want to think about what Wordsworth is saying is he goes beyond this kind of, okay, it's a nice pretty picture postcard, but keep going on 793. He says, these are sensations sweet, first line of 793, felt in the blood, felt along the heart, and passing even into my purer mind. Now this is something that what he is remembering is not just pretty flowers and stuff like that. It's something that can affect his mind, help him think about things, help him deal with things at a deeper level. With tranquil restoration, feelings too of unremembered pleasure. Okay, so we have here 5 years ago. He's over here. Here's the river that he was visiting. Okay, there's the river, and he's been gone for 5 years, right? And he's been away. But when he's in the city, he also has feelings of unremembered pleasure. What does that mean? He's over here. Maybe we need to give him a little piece of paper, and he's going to write poetry on it. There's his paper, and there's his poetry.
Even bigger than that.
Large paper. He's using, what is it, finger paint paper. Why unremembered pleasure? What's the last happy place you were? Like a really great place that you can think back and remember it.
In my bed.
Give me an example of vacation happiness.
Sarasota, Florida.
Sarasota, Florida. What do you remember about it?
White sandy beaches.
Okay, white sandy beaches, but that sand sticks to you. Right? The sand sticks to you, gets
Not
in
really.
your... Not really.
No.
Do you believe her?
Magical
I
sand.
do not.
It's magical sand. I don't believe her either. Okay, but there is unremembered, when we think back on our memories, we reshape them. Yes.
Okay, so do you mean like by unremembered pleasure, like the feeling it gave you?
Actually, no.
No?
No, because you get some happy feelings, but then when we leave and we're back in the city, there are unremembered things as well. We doctor up our memories.
Yeah, but you, like sometimes certain smells or something remind me of the place. Is that
Okay.
what you're talking about?
No.
No?
No,
Alright.
that's part of the remembered pleasure. That's part of what you do remember. Because you can remember those smells, just like, or to something, okay,
It's
it's,
familiar, but you don't know why.
or what about this? The guy that you broke up with, that, you know, you really wanted to just stomp him into the dirt when you were breaking up with him, but then down the road a little bit, it's kind of like, sometimes maybe he seems a little better than maybe he really was. You know how some people can, like, you remember the good thing. Unremembered pleasure is edited. It's when you edit the memory. You make it better than it was. Okay? Sometimes we can make things better than they are in our memories. Unremembered pleasure, such perhaps as have no slight or trivial influence on that best portion of a good man's life. I'm just going to read through this, not all this, his little nameless, unremembered acts of kindness and love, nor less I trust to them. This is important. I may have owed another gift of aspect more sublime. Okay? So now we've got unremembered pleasure. We also have the sublime. The sublime. Okay? Unremembered pleasure, the sublime, and then the sublime. Now look at the description of the sublime. That blessed mood in which the burden of the mystery, in which the heavy and the weary weight of all this unintelligible world is lightened. Stop there and go back to the blessed mood in which the burden and the mystery, hang on. The burden of the mystery in which the heavy and the weary weight of this unintelligible world. Whenever life gets too heavy for us, when life gets too wearisome and burdensome, we can go to that serene and blessed mood for something that is kind of lightens our spirits, in which the affections gently lead us on until, and let's look at how this is described, until the breath of this corporeal frame. Stop there. What is a corporeal frame? What is the breath of our corporeal frame?
Human body.
The human body, the breath of our human body, and even the motion of our human blood, almost suspended. What does it mean to almost suspend your breath and your blood?
Die.
Okay. Die, but we've got almost in front of it, right?
So he can use it until he dies.
Pardon?
He can use it until he dies.
No, it affects you in such a way that you almost die. Because your breath and your blood are almost stopped. Not completely, but almost. And we are laid asleep in body and become a living soul. What does it mean to be laid asleep in body and become a living soul?